Welcome back to the MMA Plug, presented to you by DenverSportsBetting.com on 98.1 FM, Mile High Sports Radio here in the Mile High City, Denver, Colorado. I'm Jordan Kurtz, sitting here alongside Josh Fremd. We're about to get into the current events this weekend in the combat sports world. This segment is brought to you by comments from the Peanut Gallery.
All right, Jordan. This weekend we have Bellator 267. It takes place across the pond over in London with a main event featuring a rematch between two top welterweight contenders, Douglas Lima and MVP Michael Venom Page.
It's going to be a bloody banger.
That is going to be. I'm rooting for Lima on that one.
Yeah, you know, the first fight obviously ended in highlight reel fashion in favor of the then champ Douglas Lima. You know, it's never a boring fight, though, when you see Michael Venom Page fight. He's fought a lot of cans, but that's also kind of helped build his star power, and it's built his entertainment value for just his flashy striking that he's able to execute there a lot of times. But I think that you're pretty on the head there with Lima. We have Cage Warriors also going on over there in London, and they bring you this weekend not one, not two, but 3 shows on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, respectively, all on UFC Hype Pass, on Fight Pass. There's hardware on the line in the main event on all 3 nights. There's UFC veteran Reese McKee that's going to try to get himself back in the winner's circle after going 2-2 in the UFC, dropping fights that were very tough matchups, obviously, to Khamzat Chimaev and to Alex Morono. He's a talented fighter at just 26 years old, Josh, so he's got time to try to build himself back up for a major promotion to sign him again.
Man, Chimaev and Alex Morono, that is a tough.
That's a tough 2 right out of the gate.
2 and out, yeah. We also have on Friday, they are getting down in the Cornhusker country for Dynasty 75, Never Give Up.
Gotta love those local names and those taglines.
You gotta get those taglines.
Never give up.
You can
just bleed.
Just bleed. This card's available to stream on Fight TV if you're interested.
CFFC on UFC Fight Pass is back on Saturday afternoon with a flyweight title on the line in the main event. I also want to give a special shout out to my boy K Viso, longtime Peanut Gallery supporter. That is Chris Farina, who's going to be making the walk in the co-main event. Best of luck to you, my man.
We also have the Fury Amateur Series 35, which has, get this, 21 scheduled fights on Saturday night with a couple amateur straps on the line down in Houston. You can check out the Wave of Talent on Facebook Live.
That's a lot of fights. That's a lot of talent to get a good look at if you're just interested in seeing who's potentially next. You know, that's a question that I get asked a lot. Who's next? These promotions like Fury are putting out the product available for everybody to see for free on something like Facebook. So go and check them out, people. And ACA 130 over in Russia, that's going to be on Monday. There may not be a whole ton of household names on that card or a lot of guys that have necessarily fought in North America, but there is multiple fighters on the card who have 15 to 20 plus fights, some of them with more than 30 professional fights. So you can almost guarantee that it's going to be some pretty high-level action that you see taking place.
That's a lot of fights. Yeah, quality MMA over quantity, in my opinion. And we have the Dana White Contender Series. We'll be back next Tuesday with 5 scheduled fights. The main event will showcase some international talent as undefeated Israeli prospect Shimon Shmachitsky, I probably messed that up, takes on the Canadian proper Mike Mallet, whose only loss came 7 years ago back in 2014 to now UFC vet Min Hakeem Dawandu. I hope I got that name right.
You know, Min Hakeem is a savage.
He's a savage.
You know, that's if you're gonna have that loss on your record, that's definitely a quality one. And also when you're taking into account that was 7 years ago.
Things change.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot that changes within that time frame, and obviously, you know, when we're talking that's his only one professional loss, I'm really excited to see how that unfolds. You know, we have a guy who still fights out of Israel. We don't see a ton of fighters that exceed or really break through to the UFC level or to that big stage who come from someplace like in Israel, just in some of those more remote spots around the world that doesn't have necessarily a major MMA market.
Yeah, it's going to be good to see him coming out of there because coming from someone who has Israeli backgrounds in me, I definitely am rooting for that. I want to see more people come out from that area and show that there is talent in that part of the world.
Definitely. And I mean, I feel like there's more and more that are starting to make the rise. Like obviously we have Natan Levy, who's now in the UFC, who, you know, that kid brings like 70,000 eyes. I mean, I'm not even sure what his social media is now. But
It's crazy.
You know, he was well over 50K before he even got into the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's obviously it shows that there's a following and a fandom. There just may not be a whole lot of guys who have gotten the nod or the opportunity to come out of that part of the world yet.
True.
But as we've came to learn from so many other different examples out there, you know, when you have a guy who can break through and have success at a high level from, like, say, Khabib Nurmagomedov, how many of those guys then eventually got that opportunity from that Dagestani region that might not have had Khabib not pave the way for him?
Yeah, you just need one guy to break through, show that there's talent and there's quality, and then he's opening the door for the next wave.
Certainly, and think just how many doors are being opened from Zhang Weili in China.
Yeah.
You know, it's something to always think about when we're talking some of these international markets. And I think it is important for the overall continued growth of the sport that we do showcase and give fighters from these different parts of the world an opportunity to showcase their skill set. Hey, sometimes it doesn't always work out. That's the fight game.
That's part of it. You got to find
out.
out.
It's worth the opportunity.
Yeah.
Folks, stick around after the break. Let us know what you thought as far as our picks. What events are you looking after this weekend? Hit us up on the Go Fast Energy Drink hotline and Energy Drink text line at 303-831-1340. This is the MMA Plug presented to you by DenverSportsBetting.com on 98.1 FM Mile High Sports Radio. I'm Jordan Kurtz, sitting alongside Josh Fremd.
Yeah, little thick bitch, fine little mamacita. Always coolin' by the pool, drinking margaritas. Yeah, it's pippin' over here and we ain't trippin' over pesos. I know it's good now, but luego